Step one, we talked about what are you truly passionate about. So make a list of things that you like to do on a regular basis. Do you like to go out and bike ride? Do you actually like to go out and run these races, these Spartan races? What kinds of things are you truly, truly passionate about? Perhaps you like working with the elderly. Step two, what types of clients keep coming to you over and over again? Try to take some time and really focus on what clients are coming to you. Are they teenagers? Are they elderly individuals? Are there people that have cancer or fibromyalgia? So there's always different types of people that keep coming to you that are attracted to your personality and your energy patterns. Step three is really a personal experience. I know practitioners who have specialized in autism because they've had a child who has been affected by that, or even cardiovascular health because they have a family history. Or maybe you've spent a lot of time fighting the battle of your bulging belly. All of these things you can relate to firsthand. Step four is a combination of your own likes or that might create a unique niche. So look at all the things that you're looking at step one, step two, and step three, and maybe you can put something together. The last one is validating your niche that we reviewed last week. We went over this in great detail on the last webinar on the importance of making sure that there's a need and a market for your niche, how to pick some of the keywords, and we really went into that, like I just said, in our last webinar, and hopefully you got a lot out of that. So today we are going to be reviewing steps 6 through 8.
So on to step 6. We talked about how to tell if you have a niche, but now we need to decide if your niche is marketable. Will you easily be able to find your clients in a cost-effective manner? And how do you market to them? In order to find out the answers to these questions, you need to test the market. Remember in the last webinar, we talked about writing the questions you get asked over and over. We told you to write these in your client's own words as much as possible. You want to keep track of this. What are they saying? You will start to use these notes in steps 6 through 8. In talking to your clients or potential clients and really getting a feel for where they are, what keeps them awake at night? This is marketing gold. By connecting to them in ways that we are going to show you tonight, you are going to be able to build a rapport with them and find out exactly what their needs are, not just what you think they are. I hope you're taking some notes because here are a few questions you can add to your surveys that will help you in all of your marketing efforts. So question number 1, I feel that I am not as healthy as I could be because I have difficulty relaxing and reducing stress because. You can pause this and re-listen to it and write these down. But another question would be, when I can't sleep at night, I find myself thinking about. Or I allow the following things to get in the way of me taking care of myself. Another question may be, I believe the following statements to be true. I will never experience complete wellness. Being healthy means I can't eat the things I want to eat. Or changing my lifestyle is difficult. I would rather just take a prescription drug than change my lifestyle. Another question you might ask is, I believe perfect health means what? Or what frustrates me the most is, and a good one is, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most, how important is it for you to find relief from blank? You will want to change this and make the questions that apply to your possible niche more appropriate. But for instance, if your focus is women in menopause, you might want to make sure the survey has a spot to check for sex and age. And you will also want to make more specific questions. The more clarity you have, the more effective your marketing efforts will be. And the purpose of the surveys is just to help you with your marketing efforts. It is really, really important just to take a few minutes with this. So another place is forums. You can look for forums online or meetup groups in your area and ask these questions there as well. Be careful though, and don't ask too many questions in this type of setting at once. Maybe just ask one question and get some answers, and then in a few days you might want to ask another question. And you can find online forums on LinkedIn, Facebook, Google+, just by using the search function. You can also just regularly use the Google. However, with online forums, make sure that people are they're actively participating is what I want to say, because there's a lot of forums online that you may see that people have not participated in since 2005, 2007. This is not a good place for you to be spending your time. And another place would be support groups. So in your community, you can find meetup groups by going to meetup.com and searching for your niche, or even by looking in your local newspaper or local magazines under community events. There's a support group out there for almost every ailment these days. And forums and support groups are really the same thing. Forums tend to be online though, and support groups tend to be in-person meetings. And Gail, what else is being offered?
That's a great question, Tracy, and we really talked about that in Step 5, just for the fact that when we were looking at Step 5, we were looking at our potential competitors or our peers that are in the same market as we are. And I can't tell you how important this is to really hone in on those peers or competitors that you've found and see what they are offering. So the first thing you really want to do is see what they are offering. And what do I mean by that? Are they offering individual sessions? What about packages? Do they have certain products that they have? Are they offering supplements? So there's a ton of things that you can be looking at in that website, and as you're writing down things, you want to see, how can I make it better? So look at the packages that they're offering, and perhaps they only offer one package or two packages. Would it be better if you offer 3 packages? You know, the supplements, perhaps they're only offering 3 supplements. Would it be better for you to offer a package in the supplements? So really take notice, take diligent notes, write it down on a piece of tablet paper or put it into a spreadsheet of what all of them are offering, and then even make little notes of what you could possibly do a little bit differently. The other things you can be looking at are what programs, what wellness programs do they offer? Are they participating with other individuals in the wellness programs? What about corporate programs? Are they involved with that? Are they involved with any support groups? And this could even be a meetup group. It could be a meetup group on losing weight, or it could be a meetup group on fibromyalgia, if that is your peer or if that is your target market. And like I said all along, what you're doing is, how can you make all of this better? And a great example of this is, we know that there are tons of fast food restaurants out there. And I don't even know if Hardee's is around anymore, or Burger King. I don't think it is in our area, but there's a McDonald's, a Hardee's, and the Burger King, and now we have Five Guys. They all make burgers. But what they all did when they went into that marketplace is they looked at the competitors to see how they could make it better, or could they offer something on top of it, you know, a deal of meals or meal deals that they're getting a whole package of food for a particular price. And that's one of the reasons why McDonald's still stands out to many individuals. Is there anything to add to that, Tracy?
No, I think you did a great job, Gail.
The other thing you want to look at are there opportunities for partnerships? And what we're looking for here is referral relationships or product or service relationships that you can be getting involved with. Even look, when you're going onto these competitor websites, make sure that you are looking at those websites in general, seeing if they have any referral relationships with products or services, or in general that they're just recommending maybe a chiropractor or a massage therapist. Because typically a referral relationship, they're probably not exchanging any kind of money or fees or goods or anything like that. It's sort of just nicey nice. I'm patting you on the back and you're patting me on the back, and I know you're a good massage therapist and I know you're a good health coach. So what kinds of relationships can you develop in your own community? And I'm telling you from my own experience of having my own business, This is exactly how I built my business. I had everyone telling everyone, oh, they're customers about me, and vice versa.
So remember in the other webinars we talked about the bullseye example, and instead of throwing all of your darts at the wall and hoping that one will stick, you want to really take aim with each dart individually and make sure it sticks. Now, marketing is differently locally than on the internet. So we talked a little bit about keywords, and the low competition keywords, you want to use these when marketing on the internet. In your website, your articles, your blogs, your Facebook ads, and your other pay-per-click ads. You want to use the low competition keywords and not the high competition, because when you use high competition, you're going to be competing against all of the big boys. However, when you are marketing locally in your flyers and in the articles you write for local magazines, in your print advertising that you do locally, it is okay to use those high competition keywords. You can also use some low competition, but this is a place where you can use the high competition effectively. Some place that we don't find enough practitioners taking advantage of is Google Places. And 97% of consumers search for their local businesses online. You want to be there when they're looking for your business with a listing. And the easiest way to do this is to show up in Google Places. And this is something that you can do if you're doing locally or globally. One of the things Gail and I found, though, in searching for well coaches throughout the United States is that we could not find anyone doing it correctly, and we found very, very few doing it at all. And so this is a huge place for you guys to take advantage of, and best of all, it's free. So right here we searched for a wellness coach in Florida, and I'm sure there are wellness coaches in Florida, but none of them are showing up in the broad search in Google Places. Now, if you go into wellness coaches in Jacksonville, you're going to see here that one person did show up in Jacksonville. However, they did not do this very well. They don't have their website. They don't have an address. They don't have where they're at. They don't have any of that. So we're going to show you right now what it looks like to do it correctly. And what we've actually done is wellness coaches, or we've done chiropractors in Florida. And you see here that we have a handful of chiropractors, and this isn't all the chiropractors in Jacksonville that have done this, but what it does is it rotates them. But what you're going to see here is that you see there under the A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the center there, you're going to see their addresses and their phone numbers. To the left, you're going to see their other listing. It has the name of their clinic, it has a link to their website, and it also has their reviews. They're actually ranked a little bit higher with their reviews. They're more likely to be able to show up a lot more often when they have really, really good reviews. So this is something to take advantage of. But you can see on the map to the right, you can actually click on that and be able to see exactly where they're located. You can read their reviews, and this is so important, especially for those showing, doing their searches on their phones, because on their phones it's going to show up a little bit differently, but it's also going to show their hours of operation. So if somebody's looking at this on a Friday, and it's going to show what hours they're open on Friday. If they look on it on a Saturday, it'll show the hours open on Saturday. So it's really, really important to make sure that you're taking advantage of Google Places, because again, like we said, it is free. The way you want to do this is you want to make sure that you're logged into your Gmail account, and then you can do one of two things. You can just search for Google Places in Google, and it's going to actually take you to this website, or you can go to the website directly. But it's google.com/business/places for business. And just follow the directions. It's very, very simple, but it does take a little bit of verification. You just want to put in everything that it's asking for. Make sure you put in your website. Make sure you put in your hours of operation. You're going to have to put in your address, and they're also going to verify that. Gail, do you have anything to add to that?
A couple things, Tracy. One was, if we go back a few slides, the ads that come up, the one that came up continuously when we were putting in those searches is integrative nutrition. And some of you that are part of this community probably have heard of the integrative nutrition program, but that means they're doing really well with the keywords that they're using, because it's coming up with their ad, the ad at the very, very top. And one thing I would suggest to you is go to integrativenutrition.com, and when you get to their home page, right-click and say View Source Code. And this is a little bit more detailed, but you're going to see all the keywords that they're using. And that is going to be another huge help for you, because I think integrative nutrition is a great, not so competitor. It's a school, but they're always coming up in every kind of search that we're doing for wellness coaches or nutrition coaches. The other thing I will say is, Tracy was talking about the time of day that you're open. I use this all the time, and I think Tracy does too. Like, you're traveling and you want to go to a cafe and you're not sure if they're open. We just search it on Google and we can look to the right to see if they're open or not. So make sure that you are filling in all of the line items that they're requesting. It's going to ask where you want to be, come up to the top of Google. Take some time with those keywords, because you want to make it fit properly with your business. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Gail. I can't tell you how many business owners don't have a website. And this probably drives me the most crazy when I'm trying to look something up, because this is the 21st century. You're not in business if you don't have a website. This is how people determine if you're real or not. And believe it or not, Google Places is another way that they're determining it. Google Places is your yellow pages of yesterday. And your website, though, it doesn't have to be fancy. It just needs to be up. It just needs to show that you're real. It can be one page. It can just say who you are, your address, directions, your office hours, how to schedule an appointment. Testimonials are great if you have them, but it doesn't have to be super duper fancy. The other purpose, though, for your website to other than verifying that you're real and really in business, is to capture leads. Now, a lead is an email address. So what it is you want to maybe give something away for free, something like maybe the 5 most common mistakes that people make with, you can fill in the blank, in order to get them to give you their email address. And you want to make this prominent on your website and make it good so that someone will really want to enter their email address, not something junky that somebody doesn't really care about and isn't going to sign up. So try to hit some of their pain points when you try to give away this free report or whatever you're giving it away. Make sure that it's valuable. Make sure it's something that the people in your ideal market, your niche, that they really care about, because people have signed up for way too many newsletters or emails, so they're a little bit more selective. You don't want to just say, sign up for my tips or sign up for my newsletter, because this is too boring and no one really wants something more to read, but they do want something if it's valuable to them, if it's going to give them what they're looking for. And they want their problem to be solved. So just show them that you're the person to do it. Now, we talked a little bit about partnerships that you can make with your peers globally, but you can also look at your local market. And Gail talked a little bit about this, because you want to make valuable partnerships here also. So, for instance, if your focus is clients with allergies, just let's say, you might look at partnering with companies that put in water or air filtration systems. You might partner with local flooring companies or a local heating and air conditioning companies. You want to look for whatever products and services your clients need because of their condition and partner with these businesses. And when we say partnering, it can be as simple as creating a cross-referral and giving out literature for them and vice versa. Or it may mean putting together a lecture series where you talk about your area of expertise one time and then they come in and share their expertise and someone else comes in another night. And this is a great way to partner because everyone is promoting it to their individual lists and in their businesses. Everyone benefits because everyone is getting up in front of people that they wouldn't have gotten in front of otherwise. And you really don't have to spend a lot of money in order to do this. Another way to partner is with associations, and these can be extremely beneficial for both parties. So when the association needs volunteers, you can be there for them and help them out. But this is also a great opportunity for you to get in front of your ideal client on their dime. So get involved on the committee so that you can stay abreast with what is going on, but also so that you can make sure that your voice is heard. And you can be seen as a leader in your niche. This is really how you get a lot of really important referrals as well, because your peers aren't going to refer you if they don't know you, love, and trust you. But if they know you, they love you, they trust you, they're going to refer you. And you can't beat the referrals. So, e-zines and newsletters. Now, Gail and I, we can take up an entire hour on this alone. However, we want to keep it short and simple for you today. So let me just say that if you're not emailing your current and your past clients on a regular basis, at least once per week, you are leaving a ton of money on the table. You really need to be providing them with just small amounts of valuable information consistently, along with promoting different things from your marketing calendar on a regular basis. Now, because of my nonprofit and my television show, World Wellness Education, I get asked all of the time who I would recommend as a naturopathic doctor or a wellness coach or a chiropractor. But let me tell you, I know so many people in these different lines of businesses, and I consider many of them to be my friends. But I can only refer one when asked. And the person I'm going to refer is the person who is on my mind the most. It is going to be the person who goes over and above my expectations. And the easiest and best way for you to do this is through sending emails of good, valuable information on a regular basis. And one of the ways that you can make sure that your information is valuable is to always be making sure that you're using your hot buttons. And Gail and I, we have a great article on this called Making Your Dollars Count. And you can look at this in our blog on our website, which is holisticmarketingmentors.com. But your customers' hot buttons are the reason why they make their appointments with you. It's why they buy your services or products. It is what they are begging you to help them with, and it is their why. It's not always logical reasons, but they're extremely important to your business and all aspects of your marketing plan. So how do you discover their why? And this is really quite simple, but what you need to do is you need to ask. But don't settle for the first answer, because you want to keep asking until you find the real root of their pain. Just like with their commonly asked questions, you want to write down their exact words. And when you use their words in your marketing efforts, they will think that you are talking directly to them. They will think that you are brilliant and that you will have so many more appointments and you will have so much more compliance. So use your hot buttons in your flyers, in your articles, in your e-zines, your newsletters, your website, any of your print advertising. So how do you really advertise to your niche market properly? And if you've noticed in everything that we've taught you about marketing, we've said very, very little about advertising. And this is really because the old ways of advertising are out. We don't want you to waste your money in the yellow pages. This is old news. Instead, we want you to get on Google Places for free. Use YouTube videos, write articles, send e-zines or newsletters, have a website. However, if you want to use print advertising, we just suggest you use it with caution. Don't do it if you can't afford to stick with it for the long haul, because print advertising and billboards do not produce a positive return on your investment. They are more about branding yourself, making a name for yourself. Now, don't get us wrong, they will eventually pay off, but you have to be out there consistently for a long period of time. So our recommendation would be to not waste your money if you can't be boldly out there in every magazine issue for a year. And the same with billboards. Don't spend the money and only be up there for a month. You need the long-term exposure for it to pay off. We had a local chiropractor who just did a really good job with print advertising. He was new to the area, and he knew that people had to see him 7 to 9, even up to 18 times before they would start to pay attention. So he put ads in the local newspaper and in all of the local magazines. He did pay-per-click ads on Google and Facebook. He took out a billboard, and then he also did direct mail. Let me tell you, it probably cost him a small fortune at the beginning, but his practice is full of clients. He knew that he was throwing money away if he was just dabbling. So he decided not to dabble. He decided to play big, and it really paid off. Gail, do you have anything else to add to this?
Well, something that you said earlier, Tracy, is for most of the wellness coaches out there, I think just going to the ways of not spending a lot of money is key, because you can throw a lot of money out the door like this chiropractor did and not have a systematic approach to it and not have any return on your investment. So then you're out 20, 30, 40, 50,000 or even more because you spent all of this on advertising. So it's really key that you know what you're doing when you're getting out there and getting into these more expensive areas of advertising. Wouldn't you agree, Tracy?
I completely would. And there's so many better ways to get to your target market. And we've taught you how to narrow it down, to make it so that you're effective. And we've taught you some really key ways to make sure that you can do it. And all it takes is a little bit of time. And if you don't have the time, you can hire somebody, a virtual assistant, to do it for really inexpensively.
So today we did discuss a couple more steps that will help you in deciding your niche. And the first one was testing the market. So make sure that you're going out there and finding out what is available out there, what are your competitors doing. That falls right into step 7, and how can you make it better. So again, going through every nook and cranny of their website and seeing, okay, this could be offered a little bit different. I could add some things to this offering to make it better. And also in all of that is, who are they partnering with? What affiliations are they associated with? And perhaps you can get involved, or even you can start your own support groups, or what partners can you be, individuals can you be partnering with to make it a great business opportunity or a client opportunity for your clients and patients. The last one is marketing your niche properly. I think the biggest takeaway from all of this is Google Places. And Tracy and I, for preparing for this webinar, I literally searched hundreds of cities looking for wellness coaches in particular cities, and the only thing I came up with was the same thing that Tracy came up with, was the wellness coach in Jacksonville, and then that individual didn't even have an address or hours open or even a website listed. It's just listed, which I don't even know if I've ever seen it listed that way before. So that, please take advantage of that. I will tell you it's going to take a little while to get in Google Places because like Tracy said, they're going to be sending you a validation code. Typically, there's 2 options. I know the one option is they send the validation code through mail. So it takes a week or 2 to get it in the mail. Then you have to enter it into your Google Places account, and then it takes a little bit to get verified. And then after that, it takes a couple more weeks for you to be shown up in Google Places. So it's not something that's lickety-split and that you're going to show up on Google Places the first day you fill it out. So I really hope that you've enjoyed the webinar series that we've put together for you and that you've learned a lot about niching. Over and over again, Tracy sees this as the biggest obstacle for wellness coaches and any wellness professionals out there. And it's really important that you take time to work on each of these steps because this is where individuals are falling. The thing that Tracy and I are going to be doing is in a little bit we'll be sending you out an email, and we're going to be offering you a Q&A session just in case you are getting stuck with steps 1 through 8. We can certainly help you out. I know some of you may have additional questions, and we will certainly be sending you that additional information out about the Q&A session. And Tracy, do you have anything else to add?
No, Gail, other than if you did want to get our book, we do go into a lot more of different types of marketing and how to be a master in different areas of your business in our book. And so you can get that at masteringyourwellnessbusiness.com.